Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will introduce you to Boolean data type in Python. We will also go through different Boolean operations you can use. The Boolean data type is either true or false. In Python, Boolean variables are defined by the true and false keywords. For example, we will set the value of A to true and the value of B to false. Let's print their type using the type function. The output class bool indicates the variable is a Boolean data type. Keep in mind that keywords true and false must have an uppercase first letter. Using a lowercase returns an error. Integers and floating point numbers can be converted to the Boolean data type using Python's bool function. An int, float or complex number set to 0 returns false. Any other number, whether it is an int, float, or complex number, set to any value that is not 0, returns true. As you can see, both number 2 and number 3 when converted are true, that is because their value is not 0. It is very similar when we use strings. The bool function returns true if the string is not empty. Only if the string is empty it returns false. When the variable greeting has value hello everyone, it returns true. But when we change it to empty string, it returns false. Let's now talk about Boolean operators in Python. Boolean operations are simple arithmetic of true and false logic. Boolean values can be manipulated using the Boolean operators which include and, or, and not. Here we will assign two values t and f, representing Boolean values true and false, which we will use in our demonstration. The Boolean AND operator returns false if any of the inputs is false. Otherwise, it returns true. Let's test this with some examples. In the first example, because f is false, true and false is equal to false, which results in our code printing at least one value is set to false. In the second example, because both 5 and -5, when converted to Boolean are equal to true. AND operator between true and true equals to true, which results in our code printing the line. Now let's talk about the Boolean OR operator. The Boolean OR operator returns false only if all inputs are false. In other words, if any of the inputs are true, it returns true. Here, the first two print functions will print true since at least one value is true. The third print function will print false because both values are equal to false. Here we have an example. In the if clause, since the value of t or f is true or false, which is equal to true, our code will print at least one value is set to true. The Boolean NOT operator requires only one argument and it returns the negation of the argument. If the argument is true it returns false. And if the argument is false, it returns true. In our example, the opposite of true is false and the opposite of false is true, thus resulting in our code printing first false and then true. For operations with the Boolean type we can also use the equality operators, equivalent and not equivalent. Let's see how we can use the equality operators with Boolean values. The equivalent operator returns true only if arguments are equal. We will set the value of a to 5, which when converted to Boolean equals true. Since true is equal to true, our code will print the Boolean value of 5 as true. In the other example, we will use the not equivalent operator. The not equivalent operator returns true only if arguments are not equal. When compared, false is not equal to true, so not equivalent operator returns true. The code will print the Boolean value of 0 is false. That was it for today's video. If you like the content of our channel, please consider subscribing. See you in the next video.